Hi everyone and welcome to another live trading series. Today is Monday, February 7th. It's lunchtime and I'm going to be showing you some trades. Before we get into it, due to popular demand, I'm going to be launching a Discord server. I just started a Patreon for it. You'll see it. I'll pin a comment and I'll leave it in the description. This is, my first foray into using Patreon and to using Discord. If you're interested, please sign up and hopefully we can get a community of Canadian finance option traders. And it doesn't have to be Canadian. It could be anyone related to options, but I will be throwing in some Canadian real estate and Canadian finance sections. If we jump right to the Patreon, it is called Canadian Finance Pro. Long story. I'll probably announce something new next week, but if you sign up, it should be able to automatically connect you to Discord. I haven't tried it out yet, so if it doesn't work, let me know your username and then I'll add you manually. But this is what it looks like, only one tier. I decided to go $12.50 a month. I initially said 15, but then I figured it would be 15 plus tax, and I didn't want people to pay $17 a month. So if we do $12.50, and then with tax it'll be closer to the 15 that I quoted initially. I'm going to try this out for a year, see what happens. I'll try to be as active as I can, but what I want is a lot of people to join so that when I'm not on, everyone can ask and answer questions and help each other out. I don't know. Okay, so getting right into it. The title of this video is Selling Covered Cash Secured Puts in a TFSA. Now, you're not allowed to sell cash secured puts, but I stole this idea from Shihab's blog, who's another Canadian options trader. He has a YouTube channel as well. Instead of selling an out-of-the-money cash secured put, you can sell an in-the-money covered call and it'll be the same thing. I'm going to show you this on Twitter and hopefully break it down. An out-of-the-money cash secured put is the same as an in-the-money covered call, and I'll show you. If we go into Questrade and just get some data, so let's look for a month out. So I'm in my TFSA. I don't want to buy Twitter at $36.50. I think it'll go down. I think it's overpriced. I want to get it at a cheaper price. I think it's worth, I think I'd be okay with 35 or 34, but I can't sell a cash secured put. But what I can do is sell an in the money covered call. And using these details, I'll show you how it's technically the same thing. Let me take a snippet just so I can refer to these details later. So we'll be looking at this. And we'll be looking at this. I'll use 445 and 297. I'll choose the 35 strike. The current price is 36.48, let's call it. So current price 36.48, strike 35. The call in the money covered call is worth, let's say 450, sorry. And out of the money put is, let's say I'll say $3. So what happens? I buy 100 shares and I sell the 35 strike. That means I have to sell it to someone at 35. So I'm losing 148. So here it says loss when assigned, 148. But since the market is efficient, there should be very little variance between an in the money call and out of the money put. But I just showed you, you make $450 profit when selling the call, and you make $3 profit when selling the put. So it looks like this has more money, but we're taking a loss when we get assigned on the shares because we're already in the money. So the variance is 4 minus the 148. 302 is what I would make with the in the money call. And then my put makes $3. So I'll technically be, the market is efficient. This is just $2 or 2 pennies if I do end up getting assigned. If we choose another example, let me go here. So let's choose 32. So 185 and then 630, the 32 strike. So if we go 32, it is 630, 185. Look at this. The variance is on the other way, another 3 cents, but it is in theory the same thing. If at the end of, let's say 30 days, which is it's like 35 days, March 18th, if it's still 348, I would sell 100 shares at 32. So I take a $4.48 loss, but I have a $6.30 gain, which ends up being 182 total. which is the same as selling an out of the money cash secured put. So if I were to choose the 32 strike, I would only make 185. But if it ends up at $36, like I end up with the same 185 in both scenarios. If I sell the 32, let's say there's two realities. I sell the call and I sell the put. If in both realities, the current price is 348 or 350 at the end of March, I'll end up with the same thing. One, I had the shares, then I lost them. So I lost the shares in here. Same with the put. I never had shares. So at the end of the March 18th, when everything gets assigned here, then it expires here, I end up with the same 0 shares. Think about it the other way. What happens if this goes to 31? Well, in the money call, my strike is 32, so I won't sell the shares. I'll keep the 100 shares. In the out of the money put, my strike is 32, so I'll have 100 shares at 32 because I'll be forced to buy 100 shares because that's the cash secured put we sold. In both scenarios, if the stock goes up, goes down, or just hovers, you'll end up in the same scenario, plus or minus a few dollars or a few pennies. I hope this makes sense. I'm going to show it to you live in action. Right now, I don't have any Twitter shares. I want Twitter in the low 30s. So here's what I'll do. I'll just buy market, $7,318. Now I will sell the 35, I think 34. Now, why would I want to do this? If I don't like the 34 price, if you think of my cost basis, I'm getting 34 minus 5. Well, I'm getting a little bit 36 here. So let's play around with the 34 strike because I didn't do that. Let's say 50. Oh, can't see it. So 34 strike is 252 and 510. 34 strike, I'm going 510, 252. So a little bit of a variance here, but very tiny. I will be selling this amount. Now, if you think that I'm making 510, I'm not making 13% on this because I'm selling in the money, so I'm losing $2.48. So if you're trying to calculate your income, you shouldn't use the premium you sold. You have to use the variance. Use the 510 minus the 248, which is my 262. So I'll go 262 divided by this strike. Or you could use the 34 because that's indirectly what I'm buying it at, but it doesn't really matter. This one is 7%. This is still 7%. So this is what I'm doing now. I will sell 2 calls for the 34 strike. 2. Let's go 515, somewhere in the middle. So I am making $1,000 on this, but remember, I am taking a small loss. So instead of 510, it'll be 262 times 2. So I should be making 524 if all goes according to plan. Did it get filled? I think it did. So it did not. If we go to orders, I have no orders. What's going on here? Strategies. It did get filled. 34 covered call. You see I'm in the money. What is my end goal with this, you ask? I don't mind. I don't mind if it gets assigned and called away. What I wanted to do was I had 7,500 US that I wanted to deploy. I want to save up more US dollars by selling premium in my TFSA to get enough shares to buy another 100 Apple shares. Apple is like 10,000 or so. Where's Apple? Yeah, so I'll need $17,000. Right now I have 7,500-ish if all else stays equal. Hopefully in a few months I'll be able to buy another 100 Apple shares and then sell covered calls on that. But yeah, I hope this made sense. I know I'm a little bit all over the place. I'm wondering if there's going to be a lot of edits here because I kind of I jumble. I have a lot of thoughts in my head. Maybe I just get nervous or I'm not good at speaking and I keep messing up my words, but maybe at least it's authentic, whatever. So playing around with these numbers, if you join the Discord, I'll try to answer more questions if this doesn't make sense to you. But in the money covered call, in theory, is the same as an out of the money put. I hope that makes sense. I hope that showed it to you here. I'm going to launch the Discord. Please Join if you'd like, $12.50 a month. Try it out for a year. Hopefully I can add some value. And then in the next week, tune into more announcements related to this logo. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching and tune into the next one.